Typhoon Doksuri, which hit the Philippines, China, and Taiwan in July 2024, was a major natural disaster that affected millions of people in the region. The typhoon not only devastated these densely populated regions of Asia, but also raised serious questions about climate change and natural disaster preparedness around the world. Typhoon Doksuri began to develop in early July in the western Pacific, in the Philippine Sea. It was first classified as a tropical storm on July 20th, but soon strengthened to typhoon level. As the typhoon moved over the warm waters of the Pacific Ocean, it quickly gained energy and was upgraded. On July 23rd, Typhoon Doksuri began to hit the northern parts of the Philippines. Strong winds, heavy rainfall, and sea level rise caused severe flooding and landslides in the region. Many residential areas in the Philippines were flooded, forcing thousands of people to flee their homes. Typhoon Doksuri caused widespread destruction in the Philippines. The typhoon, which was effective on the island of Luzon in the north of the country, directly affected approximately 1 million people. Many villages and towns were completely engulfed by floodwaters, and infrastructure was badly damaged. Power outages, transportation difficulties, and the disruption of communication lines have greatly complicated rescue efforts. The Philippine government made a major effort to warn the public and organize evacuations in the days leading up to the typhoon. However, many people were caught off guard by flash flooding and fast-moving winds. More than 100 people lost their lives in different parts of the country, while many others went missing. After crossing the Philippines, Typhoon Doksuri moved rapidly northward, heading for the east coast of China and Taiwan. While Taiwan is usually prepared for typhoons, Typhoon Doksuri's intensity wreaked havoc on the island. Across Taiwan, high winds and rainfall caused power outages, flooding, and landslides. In many parts of the island, roads were closed, bridges destroyed, and farmland damaged. Many people in Taiwan were also forced to flee their homes. After Taiwan, the typhoon reached the southeast coast of China. Here, it caused great destruction, especially in Fujian and Guangdong provinces. The Chinese government made great efforts to minimize the loss of life by evacuating millions of people. However, despite this, many residential areas were badly damaged by the strong winds and rainfall. Hundreds of people lost their lives, and millions were left homeless across China. Typhoon Doksuri's impact in the region was not limited to loss of life, but also caused serious economic damage. Agricultural lands, industrial zones, and residential areas were severely damaged in the Philippines, Taiwan, and China. All three countries suffered billions of dollars of economic losses in the process. The decrease in agricultural production has caused serious price increases, especially in rice, corn, and other basic food products. People living in typhoon-hit areas experienced difficulties in accessing basic services for an extended period of time. Essential services such as electricity, water, healthcare, and transportation were disrupted for weeks. The devastating impact of the typhoon has led to a serious humanitarian crisis in the region. The United Nations and other international aid organizations mobilized to send humanitarian aid to the disaster areas. In the aftermath of Typhoon Doksuri, large-scale rescue and reconstruction efforts were launched in the Philippines, Taiwan, and China. In the Philippines, the government and non-governmental organizations tried to meet the urgent needs of the people by distributing emergency relief supplies and setting up temporary shelters. In Taiwan, the government, local communities, and volunteers took an active role in debris removal and damage assessment. Typhoon Doksuri went down in history as one of the most devastating natural disasters of 2024. This disaster reminded us once again how important it is to be prepared for natural disasters and to tackle climate change. The Philippines, Taiwan, and China are struggling to recover from the devastating effects of Doksuri. However, it is clear that more global cooperation and action is needed to prevent such disasters from recurring in the future. Tayfun Doksuri is a warning of the devastating potential of natural disasters in the era of climate change. Devoting more resources to combating climate change and strengthening disaster preparedness are among the most important steps to mitigate the impacts of similar disasters in the future. Translated with deepl.com. Free version.